what we're going to do now is we're going to populate this. Here's all our pages, and we want to populate them with text. Now, I have spent yesterday about 4 hours trying to get this to work. I think it's going to work fine. Worst case scenario, you can use copy and paste, but you should be able to go in here and grab it. Now note where I am. I am not on page 1. I'm on page 2 because I want to put something else on page 2. So I'm going to grab chapter 1. I'm going to put it in there. And what's coming up, and it's saying it's got all these different lost fonts. Anything that gets highlighted with red means it's really lost. So we're going to hit Find Fonts. And you'll see this is the one that's not working. I'm going to change it to everything to Baskerville. So now everything's done with Baskerville. I'm actually going to get rid of the chapter 1 because I'm going to put that on the front page, that first page. You're going to do this with each one of these. All right. So I'm going to just Command A, everything, bam. And I'm going to now open up Window, Type in Tables, Paragraph. This gives us sort of our paragraphs and how our paragraph is going to look. All right. So we're going to justify to the left. We're not going to force justify it because if you force justify, you get weird spacing. Just going to justify it. You're going to say, all right, what's my indent for my text? I'm going to leave that, set that one to 5.5. Come on. Did this before. 5. Wrong one. My bad. Okay, let's go back. This one. Thank you. So I'm going to get a sense of how, sort of an indent, because that's nice. This one, you can actually put a little more space between the paragraphs if you want it. All right, this looks pretty good. So now I'm going to set whatever font I want. I'm going to highlight again, Command A. And I'm going to set this, because we talked about it, I'm going to set this to Baskerville, which is sort of a very standard old-fashioned font. You can choose, but it's got to be readable. So I recommend Baskerville. Arial, your choice. Or even, let's see, what else would I recommend? I would recommend anything. Look at them. See, Bodine, old style's kind of nice. But keep it pretty simple, something that you can actually read. I'm going to use Baskerville. This doesn't mean you have to do Baskerville. All right. And I'm going to change the font size to 10 because that's pretty standard. Looks a little hard to read, but that is pretty standard for books. Anything between 10 and 12 is fine. All right. So there's my text all done. Now I'm going to go back to my pages. Come on, pages. Come back up to me. There you are. I'm now going to go to, oops, it put it on 1. All right, fine. You put it on 1. We can fix that. So what we're going to do is it did put it on 1. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to type in here chapter. And then I'm going to hit return until I get that to the other page. Hasta luego. Back to chapter 1. Move this over. Let's go back up here. For some reason mine keeps doing this. It sort of makes it hard to get to them. Don't know why. Again, all these programs look simpler than they are. Okay, there we're at chapter 1. So I'm now going to use my black arrow to select it. Bring it down. I'm just going to have it say chapter 1, chapter 1. Okay. I probably don't even need to have any spacing here, so let's get rid of those. I'm going to make this a different font entirely, because this is, you might have the airship or something. I'm going to use Impact. And I'm going to make the size like 24, even bigger, 36, chapter 1. And I'm going to, here's my paragraph, I'm going to center it. And I'm going to put it in the middle of the page. How I'm going to do that is, see, when you pull this down, you get this thing in the middle that shows you that's center. And when we get down to here, that shows us where the center of the page is. So now we've set up the book basically the way we want to. And we're going to call this one, we're going to put it in our book folder. And we will call this chapter. Now we're going to do this for all 3 chapters.